Okay, here we are back in Legend of Heroes Trails in Reverie. Where we last left off, we finished off the Act 2 part. And in order to go to Act 3, we have to lead with C here. I'm really hoping he doesn't crisscross with the Lloyd like they just did with Reen.
You were quite punctual.
You bet. Sup, and welcome aboard the Argo, the vessel of Nine Valley's new high-speed transport service.
Our pilot is a child.
We might have been better off on the ground.
I'll have you know that I'm a licensed pilot. And that's real rich coming from you guys. You look like a bunch of kids about to go on a picnic with their daddy to me.
Ooh, we got burned.
But boy, did I not see your daddy's ID coming. Who knew my mystery client would turn out to be our former Governor General, Rufus Albarrea? Oops. What, do you prefer Supreme Leader now?
Please, if I knew I'd be repeating myself so soon, I would have gathered my audience. That title is not mine.
But then...
I'm confused. Who's Rufus? That's this guy's real name. C was a nickname. So it's Rufus, huh? I think it's much cuter than C. I give it 85 points. Ooh, he kicked your butt, S.
Why would I care when I don't even get what criteria she's basing these on?
So are you famous then, Rufus? Everyone seems to know who you are. He's not just famous, he's super famous. He's the elder son of House Albarrea, one of the 4 great houses of Erebonia, and he became Crossbell's first Governor General. Together with the Empire's Chancellor and Crown Prince, he led the country to all-out war. But then he got arrested after it ended. That's all the big common knowledge stuff, but trust me, I know all about the skeletons in his closet. Wow, you're so smart, Nadia.
Is knowing part of handling the unpleasant side of things?
Wow, you're so smart, Rufus.
Can she try not to stir up trouble with him?
Yeah, well, he's apparently not done making a name for himself. Because 3 days ago he busted himself out of jail so he could lead a load of black-clad soldiers into Crossbell and occupy it again. Then he declared himself the new Supreme Leader and claimed he was carrying on the late Chancellor Osborne's will. And you're saying that wasn't you? Yeah, hang on, you were in Crossbell yesterday and at noon today making statements. When do you have time to go to Heimdall? He couldn't have been at this Crossbell like you said. He's been with us the entirety of today and yesterday. Then that means... So there are 2 Rufus Albareas, or more like... one of you's a fraud. So it seems. I've no interest in making a public show of him being one, mind you. But I am the genuine Rufus Albarrea. On that you have my word. Guess I believe you. Even if Crossbell mistakes the other guy for the real deal, your brother would be able to tell the difference. Can't say I even care, I'm just in it for the Mira. Speaking of, I thought the Erebonian government seized all your assets. How are you going to pay your fare? I've long kept my assets spread out in the event something like this were to happen. What the government sees is a mere fraction of what I own. You really do prepare for anything, huh? I was worried we were duped into doing charity work for a sec. Well, we've come this far. I think it's about time you start filling in the blanks. About what exactly? You. We don't plan to call things off just because we know who you are now. But you've got to admit that you're not an average guy, and that means being around you is a huge risk on our part. I think you owe some more thorough explanation on what you were up to before we met and what you're after now. It's the least you can do if we're going to keep working together. Very well, I'd intended to do as much from the very beginning anyway. You have to understand the full scale of our situation before we advance to the next stage. Rufus's tone remained flat as he recounted recent events. It began late at night on March 14th, when Orok's fort in the Cruzan province fell under attack. This was the work of the Ebon Defense Force, who were there to aid the Crossbell division of the Imperial Defense Force in their escape. Upon freeing the IDF from their underground cells, they continued on to another cell in that same fort, Rufus Albarea's. Yet their aim was not to free their former leader, but to assassinate him. Rufus deftly turned the tables against them while also managing to extract a wealth of information, even if their knowledge lacked the finer details. He learned that they abducted Prince Olivert and would be executing a major operation in less than 24 hours. He also learned of a small suitcase that the EDF wished to find with great urgency. Sensing trouble brewing in the wake of Crossbell's liberation, Rufus then resolved to escape to better assess the situation at hand. The next day, March 15th, was no less eventful. An impostor using Rufus's name and face as his own stormed Crossbell's science ceremony and declared it occupied once more. This information, paired with intelligence gathered to suggest for the trouble brewing in Heimdall, helped the real Rufus ascertain his next objective. He issued a statement claiming to be the prince's abductor to lure Class 7 to the Imperial capital. And following that, he set his sights on Orok's Canyon to take this enigmatic case the ADF were so desperately seeking. You know the rest, of course. Wow. You've been a busy boy, huh? While I'd been cooped up in a cell for half a year, I had plenty of pent-up energy eager to be spent. To continue, it's clear that the actions of the EDF and my spurious self were planned to the letter. I imagine a multitude of events these past months have been part of their grand scheme, not just the recent attack on the city. The post-war occupation, the occupiers electing to ignore my calls to surrender, and even the city's liberation a month ago. If this fake Rufus is pulling the strings here, you being around is only going to be one big headache for him. You think it's possible you being locked up in the same place as the IDF was intentional? I would assume so. Everything about it right down to my assassination attempt. And that in itself was just a small part of something greater. Then what are you planning to do about it? You sound like you got a pretty good idea of what you're up against. So what does the real Rufus want? I have two goals. The first is to eliminate the impostor who seeks to use my name for ill. Makes sense if it means being around equals... being around... okay. Makes sense if it means them being around equals, people be trying to kill you. The second is to settle a past debt. Oh? Crossbell's current status traces its origins to the war that ended not long ago. I, the primary member of the Ironbloods, was one of two who led the charge in that war, the other being the very man who I revered as a father, the late Chancellor. Having made this mess, it falls to me to clean it up. The Ironbloods are an awfully loyal bunch. I also feel a certain degree of responsibility toward Crossbell as its former Governor General. Let me see if I got my head around this. In short, you want to rectify Crossbell's situation and fix whatever's going on in Erebonia. That sum it up right? That would be the end result, yes. You know, that's a lot to expect for people to pull off. That's why I never specified it being us to achieve that end result. There's no reason it has to be us who faces our enemies. Confronting evil and overcoming it with heart and willpower is best suited to heroes, not villains like myself. Like Green and his friends whom we fought earlier, and their Triple S counterparts in Crossbell. No need to imitate what they have perfected. Works for me, doesn't feel like our style. What we can do is learn the truth behind these myriad occurrences in our own way. And we can start with the very valuable clue we happen to have in our possession. What is it? Why are you all staring at me? You're just so cute that we can't help ourselves. Really? I see. Makes perfect sense. To be admirers of the destiny of a masterpiece, gaze upon me to your heart's content. It's hard for me to picture a doll being the key to unraveling all that's going on. It's weird, yeah. And her not remembering anything makes it that much harder. Got any plans for tackling that one, boss? I just so happen to have a question for you two regarding that very issue. Jörg Rosenberg was her manufacturer and the man who requested that she be delivered to me. Well, technically, yeah. Now that her work in Heimdall is done, I was hoping to visit him in person. But your hesitant response tells me that may not be possible. Has something befallen him? Nope, he's fine. It's just not much would be gained by going to see him. He's the one who gave us the job, but he specified that he was just an intermediary. My guess that whoever had him give us the job's also the one who got him to make her. Maybe because he didn't seem to know much more than we do now. I see. Then our only choice is to aid her in recovering her memories after all. I assume you don't know where you were originally crafted. Wish I did, but I'm afraid not. I've got a place we can start, at least. Jurg didn't directly deliver the case to us. He said to pick it up from the Moon Temple. He must have hidden it there before hightailing it out of Crossbell. It'd be a safe bet to say she was made there, or close to there. Almost certainly the Rosenberg studio on the Maine's mountain path, then. Sounds about right. We passed on the way to the temple, but didn't go inside. A wise decision. If the Master hid the case elsewhere, then the studio has been compromised in some manner, I'm sure. We still do not know if her memory loss was unintended or deliberate. But danger or no, it'll be possible that we'd find something to ease her current predicament. So we know where we're going then. Of course, our course was always going to lead to Crossbell. The timing is apt, we may as well go now. But how are we going to get in when the borders are so well protected? Fear not, for I have a plan that will require some preparation. I'll need your participation or for it to work, but the details can wait. For now, rest well, children. Light in the dark. I was getting so sleepy when they talked, but I feel wide awake now. Perhaps I'll tour the ship and see what everyone is up to. Hey, Lapis. Is she asleep? Sure is. That's a shame. I wanted to play with her. Sorry to disappoint, but let her rest, okay? She always wants to sleep, so today's been a long, rough one for her. Does she normally sleep a lot? That's an understatement. She spends most of her off days out like a light. She's even fallen asleep in the middle of combat. Has she ever been to a doctor to fix it? No, she's not sick, just very laid back. It makes life a real pain sometimes, though, let me tell you. I'm sure it does. But she's my partner, and there's no one else I'd rather depend on when it counts. Besides, I swore to protect her in her brother's place. I intend to honor that for the rest of my life. Are you and her brother different or the same? I find it hard to wrap my mind around the idea of siblings. Let me put it like this. How would you feel if Jurg Rosenberg were to make another doll exactly like you? If they were exactly like me, then they'd be perfect. The world being blessed with more perfect things to admire is a good thing. Well, what if the other doll wasn't as cute, pretty, strong, or emotive as you are? What if others called them a failure? There isn't such a thing as a Rosenberg that's also a failure. But if by some chance that were to happen, I'd be very annoyed to hear others speaking of them that way. There you go, then. That's how siblings are. Do you think Rufus would be annoyed if he heard something like that about his brother? That's who the boy we saw before is, right? Beats me. I know the first thing about what goes on in that guy's head. So it's a mystery? Yeah. Anyway, you should try and get some rest while you have the chance. Assuming dolls need rest anyway. Okay, thank you, Swin. What's up? I thought you'd be asleep by now. I'm not tired yet. Say, why don't you give me a neat bedtime story? Like what? You're kind of putting me on the spot. Okay then, why don't you tell me about your swords then? They're neat enough. I like that we can take them apart and put them back together. They've got a pretty unique mechanic to them. When they're apart, I mark my targets to hit them dead on without a problem. Then I put them together so I can really lay into them for a ton of damage. They're more like special orbits than weapons if you want to be nitpicky with it. Sounds a little too complicated for me, but you sure look amazing when you use them. Now, should I take it slow and tear you limb from limb, or should I give you a delectable dollop of poison to make it nice and quick? Nellie's dreams sure are colorful. Yes, poison comes in many different colors, young doll.
I wonder what it's like to have a sibling. Do I have any out there?
Too many. Could this lead outside the ship? I think I'll walk around inside more first. Kinda wonder if you get to meet Maria Bell and her dolls here or not. Well, if it isn't my littlest customer, you want something? Just felt the urge to tour the ship, and you're hardly big. I'm still bigger than you. Come to think of it, I haven't introduced myself to you yet, now have I? Name's Jingo. If there's anything you want your hands on, just give me a holler. I'm Lapis. Nice to meet you, Lapis. By the way, you're not human, right? Indeed I'm not. I'm a proud Rosenberg doll. Really? World's full of surprises. You don't look surprised to me. When you're in my line of work, you meet all kinds of folks. You're not the first unusual customer I've had. I'm not? Your job sounds very interesting. You know what else would be interesting? Mods. Can I interest you in a Gatling gun for an arm, or eyes that'll let you shoot lasers out of them? I'll give you a pretty discount. Tell me more. You can do all that? It'd be worth a shot. I agree that would be interesting, but none of it sounds as beautiful as my current design, so I'll kindly pass. No big. If you change your mind, you know where I am. I certainly do. Anyway, it's about time for Cerberus's lessons. Cerberus! What's his lesson about? Being the strongest guard dog around. Well, now I've got to know. What does that take? So far I've handled all the cleaning and run my shop, but today he's gained pointers on flying this baby. He's got to be able to navigate anything life throws at him, and that includes the steering wheel. Okay then, first I need you to plop yourself on top of my seat. Wait, is this gonna work? Guess as long as your front paws can reach the wheel, it's all good. You can do this, Cerberus. Good boy. Hang on a minute. I wasn't gonna butt in at first, but I can't keep my mouth shut for what I just heard. Oh yeah, what's that? Maybe the whole idea of trying to teach a dog to fly the airship? Still not hearing what the problem is. How's he supposed to learn if he doesn't take the wheel? All of that is a problem. You're trying to make a dog transcend the limits of the canine species. Come on. Now you're just exaggerating. But you're welcome to tune in on his lesson if you want. What part of what I said makes you think? I just had a dream where the whole airship fell out of the sky. Where are you, S? Comfort me. Anyway, we're paying for this flight, so if you want to attempt the impossible, do it on your own time. We'd like to live for the landing, if you please. Fine, you're one tough customer.
Cerberus is so cute! I hope I can pet him later on.
Sadly, he's the smartest being on the ship. What's up? You changed your mind about the body mod? Not exactly. I was just curious how much you could upgrade if I really asked you to. Can't say without getting my hands dirty, but I bet if you really wanted to, you'd probably get all your parts swapped out. Guess we have to call in a specialist, though, on account of how obviously, well, special you are. I see. Thanks, I guess. What brought this on anyway? I was thinking earlier, if I exchanged my parts, would I still be me afterwards? Don't be silly. It'd take a lot more than changing out some nuts and bolts for you to turn into someone different. What if I took out a lot of parts? What if I asked you to replace everything and there wasn't a single piece of me left from before? Can you still say that I'm the same person, then? That I'm still Lapis Rosenberg? You're asking some pretty big head scratchers, Dolly. You got the wrong gal for that kind of philosophical conversation. Let me ask you this. At the end of the day, does it really matter? I don't know. That's what I want to figure out. I work with my fair share of colorful characters, but if you told me one day I'd be backing up Rufus Alborea, well, not that I complain. Pay is good enough, nothing else, so it'll make for some crazy stories when it's all said and done. I'm sorry, what was that? You're trying to say that I'm adorable, aren't you? Well, of course I am. I'm a Rosenberg doll. But don't worry, you're adorable too.
I'm afraid this side of the deck is occupied. You'll have to sleep elsewhere.
I wasn't planning to sleep out here.
Oh? Then what's brought you outside?
I wanted to go stargazing. What about you?
I wanted to take in the night air.
Since we're both here, there's something I'd like to ask.
What is it?
I know that you're a famous man, but are you a good man or a bad man?
Bad, though that would be putting it mildly.
So very bad?
Very, very bad. I have used anything and everything to advance my interests, be it titles, fame, or even those pure of heart. There is little point in feigning a moral compass when human lives hold no value to me, or acting chivalrous when all that does is hinder me.
Do you still feel that way?
I do. I'm using you, Swin and Nadia, to bring my designs to fruition, am I not? I'm also using those we met in the capital, like my brother.
None of that sounds like something someone good would do, yes. You really are a very bad man.
I'm glad we could come to an understanding. So, armed with that knowledge, what do you intend to do?
Am I supposed to do something?
I suppose a doll has no reason to care if a human is good or evil.
Being a doll has nothing to do with it. But were you hoping I would admonish you? Or perhaps comfort you?
Of course not.
Okay, then I still intend to do nothing. Whether I praise you for your deeds as a hero, or chastise you for your misdeeds as a villain, it won't change you at your core. You are who you are.
Just how does humanity look through your lens for you to think in such simple terms?
I don't know. I can't answer that when I'm still learning about what it means to be human. All I can say is, I don't see if you're good or bad, where you're from, or how you were raised. I don't see what you've done or haven't done, what you possess or what you lack, because none of those are what make you exist as a person. So it can't be that you suddenly don't exist just because someone decides to reject those parts of you.
That's quite a philosophical approach to the matter. Or perhaps that objective thinking is the most one of artificial intelligence can fathom.
I don't know. How could I know? Just to me, being is what makes a human a human.
Perhaps you're right.
And so, it's what makes you, you.
Perhaps you're right. I don't remember the exact moment I began to search for meaning in my life. My father elected to raise me as his own son, irrespective of the fact I was born because his wife laid with another man. He did so with the same ease he rejected his flesh and blood because he was born from a common woman. When I learned the truth, I finally understood that House Alberea wanted me not as a human being, but as a product of noble blood. It was so hard to bear that it made me sick. Was that all? Was that the only reason I existed? I refused to accept it. I couldn't take it. And as I turned my eyes from this terrible truth, a new, more terrible thought dawned upon me. If that was not the reason I existed, then what was? That was when I met him. It is said we seek that which we do not have. Through him, I sought the Father I never had. I convinced myself that if I did as sons do and became more than he ever was, then I would understand the real reason for my existence. And there it was. At last, I had a goal, something to pursue. I stopped at nothing to make that goal a reality. There was no effort too ambitious, no principle too sacred to violate. But no matter what I did, it still wasn't enough. Everything I had done to secure my victory had led to a resounding, humiliating defeat. A defeat at the hands of my own brother, who, despite his unfortunate upbringing, had grown into someone strong and true. I envied him for that, but perhaps I should have known all along that a mere product could never hope to have a real, genuine purpose. The whole predicament would have been worth a laugh had it not been so deeply painful. Why am I here? What is my reason for being? Who am I?
You are who you are. I don't see what you've done or haven't done, what you possess or what you lack, because none of those are what make you exist as a person. Just to me, being is what makes a human a human.
Such nonsense. I thought you weren't planning to sleep out here. I'm unsure if dolls are capable of catching colds, but I believe you've taken in the stars enough for one night.
Are you all prepared? Ready to go anytime? We're good at this stuff. I don't know what we're preparing for, but I'll give it my best. Our interests will be best served if we say nothing at all. Okay, then I'm going to make a landing. Halt, are you authorized to be here? Your Excellency. What is the meaning of this? You stand in the presence of our Supreme Leader. We informed you in advance of our arrival. Why are you not ready and waiting? Our deepest apologies. There's no need to be quite so harsh. These are good men. This airport has only been under their jurisdiction for a few days. It takes time to adjust to new responsibilities. You are merciful, Your Excellency. We'll ready a car for you at once. No need, I've arranged for one personally, so remain here and continue your duties. Yes, Your Excellency? What a bizarre experience. Not everyone gets to be their own imposter. It's hilarious. Good on you for thinking it up, boss. Well, that was a line about them being good. It won't be long before they'll learn the truth from their superiors and come after us. We shouldn't remain in the city any longer than is needed. Can't hurt to scope out the place first, though, right? I suppose we'll have to make a brief tour before continuing on for the mains mountain path. Does part of scoping out mean inspecting all the restaurants? That's gonna have to wait till next time. So we might be able to get some of the stuff here. He doesn't even have a new helmet. Right, I got this stuff from Jingo. What is it? A farewell gift, apparently. Custom rod and custom spooler. 10 bait. Wait, does she think we're off on a picnic or something? What's a picnic? You are too darn cute, LP. No point looking a gift horse in the mouth, let's use it. We'll look like tourists or something, good for camo. Indeed. I'll leave its use to your discretion. Just try not to stand out too much. Got it. Might be nice to take a breather every now and again. Swin and Nadia can now fish. Rufus is in stealth mode. Rufus will move around the city in stealth mode due to the ram's functionality. When Rufus is the party leader in town, he cannot be seen by others who use shops.
I shall.
Okay.
And I couldn't see
Time
what
to
that
go.
was.
On guard.
Okay, I played back the video. It was costume stuff we got. See, I'm just gonna leave him in default mode, even though I figured he'd just pick up a new mask or something, you know?
My turn.
You don't see passenger trains run through here anymore. It was a time when you'd see all kinds of trains coming and going. Hope those days aren't gone for good. This road leads to Crossbell City. Stay on guard. No reason to go by the station. Can we go to St. Ursula? Nope. Mountain Path is out the north side, if you don't remember from the Crossbell games. The Geofront is down here, which they probably have locked. Yep.
So, where should we start our search? The administrative district? Could be flying a little too close to the sun, but then again, sometimes that's what you gotta do to nab something juicy.
Very astute. Indeed, the higher the risk, the greater the reward.
I don't see why we shouldn't go there at some point, personally.
Okay. First things first, we're going weapon shopping. Look at all those people kissing the Supreme Leader's supreme ass. Hard to believe nearly everyone's falling for that nonsense. There's gotta be more to it, but I'd rather stay the hell out of it and keep my hands clean. What is this for? So it's for a combat shell, so... be... Normally, like, you'd think that would be Millium or Altina, but I don't think they use those. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about the armor at the moment. So I was hoping for weapons, but sure. The door is locked. This is precisely. Seeing as it appears to be vacant, we'd best be on our way. Don't know how I feel about plans to unify the continent by force. Sounds a little too close to what Dieter Quaw tried. Never mind, I shouldn't have said that. The Supreme Leader's a true man of means who knows how to get things done. We've got nothing to worry about so long as he's the one leading us, I just know it. The United Nation of Crossbell. United nothing. Ain't no way you can achieve peace by forcing other nations under you. Again, I think the Supreme Leader might actually be able to do it. No, I'm getting duped by that blondie. What's this strange feeling I'm getting? Am I just imagining things? I better keep sharp. Oh, you're already plenty sharp. You worried about me? It's okay, Daddy's at work and Mommy's at Michelin, so she can't come home yet. I know it's scary since the city's acting all weird. We gotta keep tough, though. Be as tough as can be. Triple S isn't sad just because things are scary, right? So we can't get sad either. Let's keep smiling, Kope. They're just still locked. So here's Vent Set, where we'll find the stake. The Crossbell Times got balls of steel. Even now, they're still publishing what they please. To be honest, the new Supreme Leader's ratings are higher than I was expecting. Doesn't matter what anyone says, I'm not buying his hooey. Now yes, his speed did move me some, but I'm not one to get swept up by the current. I know the city's in rough shape now, but the delicious coffee here helps to calm my nerves. I think I might go for another, actually. Silteo and Nana are both trying to find something that only they can do right now. I'm truly happy with how dependable they become. My only concern is related to their cooking. Their ingredients have been getting stranger and stranger. They both improve leaps and bounds, but it's not their flavor that's a problem. If a customer asks what something's made of and they give an honest answer, that won't be good for business. Crap, can't believe we're out of herbs. We import ours, so we're sitting ducks right now. We can't get more. Boy, what if we use that plant monster from the other day's hardy powder? Why not just add the flavor we need? If we mix it with the green liquid, it'll be amazing. Can't pretend I didn't hear any of that. Using parts of a monster I'm cool with, but green liquid? What does that even mean? Rather not eat here. Alright, time to experiment a little. I'll start boiling the green liquid. Well, at least we'll get the water out of it, alright? Then again, maybe the water being there is a good thing. I said it before and I'll say it again, Rufus is just the dreamiest. And that dark red cloak over the hot white military uniform, delish. I almost thought she was talking about you. It's flattering enough to be me, but no. That's Supreme Leader Rufus to you. Wouldn't want to go disrespecting our new man's new title. But you're totally right, just one look at him has me burning up. If the United Nation of Crossbell comes to pass, that would also mean that the Chancellor's ambitions came true. Maybe I should consider becoming an official Crossbellan. Never thought Crossbell would find itself isolated from the rest of Zemuria all over again. We became independent or forced into being an imperial province, and now at this point I might as well get used to it. We got a handful of trade routes within Crossbell that'll help me scrape together enough products to sell. I wonder if Pearl's doing alright in Amorca. Janetta's been acting kinda strange. Patiri was supposed to be due back soon and everything. Just how long will we have to put up with this? don't know how much I can ever thank you. Even if it was only temporary, I don't think I'd ever get hired as your vice manager. Please, as far as I'm concerned, I get to borrow an incredibly talented worker's abilities. Times are difficult for us all right now, so we may as well combine our wisdom and get through it as a team. Thank you, sir. Wherever you need, I'll be there to help. Never been hired if this place is only concerned with starting a profit. I'm nothing if not grateful. I need to ensure my staff's mental health is hanging in there. Tension's been high between those in opposition to the Supreme Leader and those in support of him. Janetta usually doesn't care much about the politics and the like, so it makes her obsession with the Supreme Leader very unusual, to put it mildly. I'm getting depressed at just the thought of going home. Yeah, I want this. I don't know if I have those already, but we'll grab them just so we have them. Like, at 100 mirror, I can afford that. Just why is Southwark so against the Supreme Leader? There's no one out there who's thinking of our future more than that wonderful man. Whatever, I guess I'll just keep chipping away at him at home until he agrees. Married life, folks. Businesses in Crossbell are permitted to operate still, so I've been able to reach out to our head office and all. But it's rough not being able to talk to my parents in Le Mans. Just how long is this going to keep going on for? Cut me some slack, darn it. The speed's a little tempting. And the other one I think I'm going to put on her. That way she can jump into the fray if she needs to. Here we are in a situation like this again. Still haven't given up on Crossbell regaining its independence through peaceful measures. Say has overcome the odds more than a few times before. Let die be cast as it may. We'll stand back up as many times as we need. We are so close to achieving our independence and returning to peace. The United Nation that the Supreme Leader speaks of will do nothing but light the fuse of war. It mustn't be allowed. So then, why do I not feel the slightest urge to criticize his words and actions? My word, it must be getting up there in my ears. I'm pretty sure I have that on someone. Am I the only one who finds the whole United Nation and Crossbell idea kind of suffocating? I don't really care if someone holds enough power to deter war for this world. My concern will always be the world of fashion and entertainment. So long as he doesn't touch those, I'm good. And it looks like you can just buy these without having to worry about, trying to blank here, the U material. Yeah, why do you... So we've burned through almost half a roof, well, more than half a Rufus' money for us. He has no accuracy, so we'll give it to him. Wasn't really expecting to find that many goodies there, to be honest. Our Supreme Leader is going to help us achieve true independence at long last, I just know it. As long as he's guiding us, I can handle these balloons with pride. Must not make joke. I get the feeling most of the citizens approve of what Rufus Alberia is doing, but me, I couldn't be more opposed to it. Though I'll admit that when I think of, that dancer at the end of his big speech, my mind starts to fade out. What am I thinking? Maybe all the long hours I've been putting in since the end of the war catching up to me. I've had my eye on the latest vacuum cleaner from Zeiss Central Factory. I was finally going to pick one up, but it turns out they're sold out of it here. The current situation in the state, there's no time when they get more in stock. Talk about bad luck. Well, just save your money. This whole lockdown preventing us from leaving the city reminds me of when we were the independent state of Crossbell. It was still a big urban city, so it could be worse, but still, hard to deny that feels like a noose tightening around the city. So if you're not familiar with that part of Azure, there's a barrier put up around the city so no one can get in or out. It's like chapter 4, I want to say. So it's fairly late in the game. We haven't exactly had a lot of customers coming through the door lately. I wonder how much longer this occupation is going to drag on. Hope it ends soon. At the very least, hopefully this doesn't lead to another war. We need to do whatever we can to avoid that. That's why the other countries should just surrender to us already. That way we won't have any more. What in the world was I saying just now? Maybe it was just my imagination. I think we have that one also. So there's nothing we need from Choco. How about Wendy? Hi, welcome to... Oh, it's not often we have kids your age coming in by themselves. Just between you and me, if you're the good kids I think you are, you should stay home where it's safe right now. I don't know what the deal is with that Rufus guy's speeches they keep playing on the monitors around town. Seem to be brainwashing people into following its every word. Be careful. Anyway, if you kids get in any trouble, I'll try to help you the best I can. I know some good people, I'm sure we can find a way to help you, even if we have to keep it on the down low. My, how generous. We'll keep that in mind. She's friendly, isn't she? And well connected if she knows people who are working underground. Ah, so we can upgrade now. Sadly, it costs a whopping 10 U materials for this. Gives him arts, a bit, ironically. Crit rate? That could help, I guess. Blast edge. Okay, that one's kind of big. His is probably the weakest of the bunch, but... So it's a 100-point increase. Can't get that one, sadly. But we can do this. Do that, and that. So now we gotta save up for the rest. I just know she has one long line. Out of curiosity. Well, then let's go to West Street.
Ooh, I smell fresh goodies! They hype this place up as much as anything you'd find in Heimdall. Nadia, we have to stop here and gather some intel.
I knew you were both just screwing around at the Capitol.
Up ahead, I'll say reason for us to go this way. We best go elsewhere. I'm glad people seem to be taking to my new chocolate bread recipe. Not that I'm surprised. I was praying for everyone to have a safe future as I bake, so I like to think that came through. Burning white's pitch black. That's because the color is inspired by the supreme leader and the Duskin Dancer. I hope and pray with all my heart that the United Nation of Crossbell will become a tranquil country. Wait just a minute, is she? Yes, this must be the brainwashing at work. It's taken hold of so much of the populace. That new pastry Benet came up with is mouthwatering on all fronts, which is all well and good, but it's not exactly what I've come to expect from her baking, you know? Who am I to decide? I'm not some hoity-toity food critic. Far be it from me to critique. Besides, I'm sure Oscar and Morges are keenly aware of just how unusual this is for. For now, just keep an eye on how things unfold at the bakery, especially when it comes to Oscar and Benet in particular. That bread smells so yummy. It's a pretty discerning nose you got, little lady. We only sell the best bread in town. Feel free to have a look around. I promise you'll find you'll like what you see. It's our bread and butter, literally. Everyone needs good food to keep their spirits up, especially at times like these. Can we get some bread to go? Please, Nadia, pretty please? I don't see why not. What's that pitch black stuff over there? That's her latest. Benet baked it herself. She made the dough from scratch. It's really good despite appearances. Just wish I could say the same about her attitude lately. She tried to worry about her, but she hasn't made it easy. Well, if her bread is good, then I say we have to try it. I hope you two remember we didn't come to Crossbell to eat pastries. We're getting distracted. Independence roll we need. I don't know if we need this yet. Worst come to worst, I might be able to cook that and save the money. Gelatin, grains, honey, syrup. You can buy the grain and the syrup. The gelatin we have to get off the monsters, I believe. Our newest menu is offering Benet's brainchild. Strangely, it's actually selling well. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, mind. It just feels a little unsettling to see, you could say. Benet's been blathering some real nonsense lately, too. Makes you wonder what's gotten into her. Let's go out this door. Learned about the former Governor General Isaiah through the Crossbell Times. I don't know, it's just hard for me to believe somebody would be in support of his authoritative approach. Maybe there's something more convincing about hearing it directly, but I've not the slightest interest in pricking up my ears. I can't even speak. I need to take a break in a moment. Nothing out of the ordinary here. I'm a little concerned about what those children over there were talking about, but well, it should be fine to leave them be. What the heck's going on? Pops are totally against the Supreme Leader's whole thing, but suddenly he changed his mind out of nowhere. My bro did the same thing. Could it be, brainwashing? Mommy and Daddy have been acting weird too. Are we gonna start acting like that? I don't know. Let's just make sure not to listen to the Supreme Leader. Yeah. Clever children. I'm hoping we're not allowed in most of these. Not seeing what we can interact with there. No reason to go upstairs, no reason to even step in the building, to be honest. No reason to go downstairs. I swear, all I do lately is sigh and sigh. No matter how worrying things get, I can't keep on going like this, darn it. Sure, Matthew's trying his hardest to make the best things over in Michelin, too. Worried about Una, but I know she's doing what she can with her teacher and classmates to set things right. I'm gonna pull myself together. I need to stay positive for Kananano's sake. It's so boring around here now that the city's been occupied again. Yeah, everyone just goes on and on about the Supreme Leader. It stinks. What the? Who's she and where'd she come from? Oh, you're all just like a doll and your hair is super fluffy and really cute. My, what good taste you have. I am Rosenberg Studios' masterwork doll after all. Praise me more. Wow, really? Listen, I know they're just chillin', but you shouldn't blow your cover so easily. Sorry about that, you two. Our little friend here likes to tease a lot. Don't take her seriously. Aw, really? It was just a joke. Now I'm confused. How am I supposed to believe she's really a doll? There's no way. I'm dying of boredom here. Is there anything to do besides going outside to play again? The doll's just so cute. I want to wear a dress like that. It'd be so much fun to wear like... It'd be so much fun to wear like that. The other girls will be so jealous. So that's the end of that. A little worried about this one. Sheesh, that Supreme Leader fellow doesn't know when to quit, does he? The longer this madness drags on, the more it starts to feel like his United Nation nonsense might actually come to pass. I'd be able to buy one of those new Calvardian Noble cars at this rate. Dear, you bought a new car less than 3 years ago. I hope you weren't considering blowing our money on another one. Alright, I suppose you have a point. Thankfully, my armorous race with Mrs. Novage has calmed down. Where would the fun be in buying a fancy new car if my most heated rival doesn't have one that I can top? My rivalry with Mrs. Novage has cooled me off as of late. It's overdue. You should really knock it off with the high road talk. She's already taken it. You just sound like an oaf. And they're linked together. We'll start here. It's been a while since I've seen our upstairs neighbor Sully. Arkansas's been on hiatus, so I wonder what she's been up to. Knowing her, I'm sure whatever it is must be important and has her full attention. I'm incredibly grateful to Neston, the manager of the department store. Graciously agreed to hire my husband as a temporary assistant manager, even though he had just previously retired. Our family's on the verge of running out of food and money without any way to return to Erebonia. His kindness saved us. Just like your downstairs neighbor, Olga and Levik. Crossbellans truly are such kind-hearted people. There's the maid and Sully. Just glad to see you're okay, Sully. Here, the latest care package. I stuffed in the daily necessities as well. Thanks so much for everything, Simon. The folks underground really appreciate it. On that note, have you noticed any... Yeah. Have you noticed anything strange happening lately? Pretty sure that's supposed to be noticed, but I'm tired and I can't really think straight. No, not that I recall. Nothing's changed since the monitor cars began looping out Rufus Albrera's speech and Ilya's dance. I don't dare to watch any of it directly, but I can still hear them in the distance. Never in my wildest dreams did I think Ilya would cause mayhem, or that I'd be doing everything in my power to avoid watching her dance. Seriously, how did it come to this? But never mind that. We've got to keep our heads on straight so we can bring her back to her senses. You're right, now's not the time to give up. Are they referring to Ilya Platier? Yes, judging by the girl's body type, she must be a performer too. There are more people still in their right minds than I expected. Seriously, what's gone into Ilya? She makes that dark stage outfit look stunning, but it's just not the same. You guys must not be from around here. I don't recognize any of you, at least. The whole city's on edge right now. I wouldn't go wandering around aimlessly if you know what's good for you. Aw, she cares about us. Okay, we need to hit up Talus's and Grimwood's office, and then I'm stopping. The last thing I want at this point is for my husband to go off to war. How can I not support the Supreme Leader if it means he'll keep my family safe? I'm sure everything will work out under him. The Supreme Leader is right. What's the point of being independent if we don't have the power to protect ourselves? That's why he has my full support. Anything to protect Momo and Elsa. Honey syrup is right there, and I don't remember what the other thing was. I think grain. Sadly, I haven't gotten as lucky with cooking ingredients dropping this game like I did with Azure. Door is locked. And with that, I am going to be taking a break, and I'll pick up here in a moment to finish the, I guess we can call it a patrol. Okay, I had to stop for a few days, so I need to remember where I left off on. Security looks tied up ahead, Maine's Mountain Path is up ahead, we'll have to use another route. Was there anything in here? I don't remember. Okay. I don't have the specific Azure videos up yet on why I'm so interested in that building. Let's see. I don't think we can go this way. Security's too heavy for my liking. I'll have to find some other way to get the Maine's Mountain Path. Sucks to be us. Door is locked. There were some parts of the Supreme Leader's speech I thought were a bit too radical, but if he's trying to protect the peace, then I'm sure he means it for the best. Honestly, we're one step away from this as our own state anyway. Maybe it's for the best we do things this way. The conduct of these streets merchants concerns me. We can't afford anything for less than for us to come together and act as one now. And if someone feels otherwise, then they ought to give the Supreme Leader's speech a good long watch. All our trade routes are being controlled under martial law. It's been a headache and a half. All I want in life is to make people veggie evangelists, but now I can't do a thing right now. I think we already did the melon pecky thing. Like, I'm hesitant to splurge. Dad's freaking out a lot about what's going on right now, but personally, the whole United Nation of Crossbell seems kind of far-fetched to me. Yeah, I didn't think we'd be allowed in here. Ah, okay, for a different reason than I expected. Notice of suspending operations. The Crossbell branch will be temporarily closed until further notice. Figured to be closed, as did I. I'm sure its members will still be keeping themselves plenty occupied, however. Let's see what Ashley's up to. You folks look like you'd have some pretty interesting stories, but don't get your panties in advice, I'm not gonna pry. Got enough going on in my life. You four can have a look around. What? Did she say you're four or you four? 'Cause she may have... That may have been a typo that I wouldn't catch immediately. Wait, did she say four? LP, gotta keep it down. Guess it's too late for that. Who do you think you're fooling? I almost feel bad for you. If that was your idea of being settled, then I don't see you getting very far. She's really tearing into us. Hold on, now that I think about it, did the sign on the storefront say... Correct, this is Nine Valley's main store. Jingo would be her daughter. Nine Valley is one of a few businesses that got my attention as Governor General. Certainly seems to have its uses. Yet, here you are, still covering your rear end. You're a real piece of work. What are you guys talking about? Someone explain it to me. Would you all knock it off with the whispering? Wrap it up. I'm trying to run a business here. Either buy something or get out. Yes, ma'am. She has a point. Stores like this are more our style. We should probably stock up while we're here. They had to go and shut down the Transcontinental Railroad, not to mention phone service. This is just making my job harder. It'd be nice if someone out there could knock that imposter's head off his shoulders already. I get it. She must have heard from Jingo. Maybe Jingo put in a good word for us. She did seem to have us figured out. Then she's someone else to be made use of. I'd say we do so wisely. I still have no clue what's going on. The cat's crawling up on the microphone, so you may hear her. Someone has the macarons. I don't know where the crepe or the tea would be. We got the Pecky badge. Okay, that was a phone call that I had to take. So for the Kagemaru badge, the thing I wanted to say is the Dragon Fighter Ice should be at Long Lao, which is right down the road from where we're at now. Shio Ramen should be at the Harbor District. We can go grab that, come back and grab this if I want the 6 speed. It's just, I don't know if I... Due to lack of alternative, I think I'll grab it. We have the Mishi Tail, but the music box is, in Heimdall, I think it was. I don't know if we're able to go back for it, but this is still something I want. And we have the Tiara, which we got in Heimdall. These are both really nice. Crazy break damage with arts, and then delay and accuracy. This one I could afford to live without. It's just, I don't know where to find those. Those would also be kind of fun. You can see we have the hand towels, I just don't know where you find the sash bookmark or the 5-dyed woven sandal. Oh well. Dragon Vein. Yeah, I don't even have the U material for that. This was... I kind of want this just for the assault gauge recovery because this group had a little trouble with that. This would be good just to unlock crap. And of course this would just be good because it's a status bomb. This, not so much. This could be awesome. Like, if you have this, you don't need this. Although it does come with Tyrol, and Curia, compared to this which just has Heat Up. Bluster only has Mercuria. And sadly, I don't even think the extra turn works for bosses, which makes this even less worthwhile. Luck. Like, the accuracy is a little tempting. Do I need to get this one, too. If every group has access to every area at one point, then I don't really need that. Huh. I don't know if I truly missed those or if this is the first opportunity to get them. Let's try talking to you. East Street's supposed to have gotten its groove back, but sure feels dire here to me. Why is it one thing after another? All I want is my normal life back. Wow, that is one enormous picture of a fish. What exactly is it, and why do they have it hanging here like it's such a big deal? That must be what they call a fish print. It is pretty impressive to look at, I've got to admit. You learn something new every day. It's essentially a way to leave an imprint of a fish you caught on paper. It's our first time seeing one up close as well. Given its prominence, I think it's safe to assume this must be a fishing shop. That's right, didn't you guys just start learning how to fish? I didn't realize it was possible to catch fish this big. How cool. Do you think I can learn how to fish? I'd love to give it a try. Oh, you're pretty tiny, LP. Some of those big catches might give you a hard time out there. I wouldn't quit your day job if you asked me. The fish would be the ones reeling you in. Come on, you guys know full well how strong I am. I can handle a fish that big, no problem. You'll see. Whoa, we got customers. You don't look like you're with the Evan Defense Force. That's a relief. You folks seem pretty young, but I can tell the two of you in the back have got a zeal for fishing, eh? Truth be told, Fisherman's Guild has a lot going on right now. Hate to say it, but we ain't in active operation right now. In fact, all our members got separated. I should make it back here in one piece, whereas the others, well... Still, can't leave a couple of fervid fellow fishers out to dry when they're gone to the trouble of coming here. Tell you what, I'll go ahead and sell you kids fishing equipment. If you need anything, let me know, and I'll hook you up. That's so kind of you, sir. Thanks so much. Sounds like you've really been through the ringer lately, huh? If you don't mind, then I think we'll take some time and look around for a while. Guess you don't mind anyway, why I see this guy could be a source of valuable intel. Not at all. I'd say that's a perfectly wise decision. Unindoctrinated civilians appear to be few and far between these days. The more we can use to our advantage, the better. I was in Armorca for a while, so this whole deal's rubbed me the wrong way now that I'm seeing it for myself. Almost everyone's been welcoming those EDF goons with open arms. What's going on here? That only makes it easier for them to focus on catching rebels that fled the city. Getting back in the city was no easy feat, let me tell you. Worried about how the other members are holding up. They could be anywhere. That's not good. You think they're keeping a close eye on all the exits out of town? They don't seem to be concerned about the mountain path, at least, but we should still be careful. One of these we already have. I think it's the cheap one. Just because I probably looked at this and went with sticker shock. And I don't have anything to trade. An Eastern Jizo is enshrined here. Apparently no side quest with this game. Door's locked, so that's Chairman Moore's house. Let's tour the city before making our way to the main mountain path. So what's the plan here, Roos? We've got enough vanilla Ubeshi in stock to make a mini-mountain. Barely getting any customers. If this keeps up, we're gonna go out of business. Good point, there's no way we can eat all this before it goes bad either. I don't know, maybe Ashley will have some ideas. Actually, Roos, I might have one. All we can do is throw it out. Why not give it out for free instead? Are you nuts? Where's the profit? Who am I kidding? We're on the brink of shutting our doors for good. Least we can do is brighten up a few people's day with food before we go. It's a great idea, Puck. Let's do it. Great, I'm glad you're up for it. So I assume they're gonna get people to come in with the freebies as a doorbuster type deal. Up for it. I say we start right now. We could hit up some of the locals on East Street. We've got enough to even go hand them out at Central Square afterward. I don't know if this is needed for anything, so we'll grab one.
Where's the sweet smell coming from? I think it's that stall. Can we go?
If you children could gather intelligence instead of food, that would better serve our needs.
Yeah, S. Quit being so lazy.
Hey!
This way will take us to the Uptown District, right? Correct, it was redeveloped during Imperial occupation to give its officers a place to live. Most of them moved back to the Empire, of course, leaving the majority of its properties up for sale. Weird to think the ringleader behind it all is staying right here. We should probably skip if we don't want to run to the EDF. No better spot for them to hang out than an Imperial District. So you can see the crates there are blocking the back door out Long Lao. Not seeing one over there. The United Nation of Crossbell. I don't hate the sound of it. There are lots of interesting customers in the city, and that makes it worthwhile to keep cooking up new dishes. Most importantly, Shan smiles more than ever since we moved here. She's made good friends, which is precisely why Crossbell should become the strongest nation on the continent under the Supreme Leader. I want this country to become strong and resilient, like the darkness in the dancer's performance. So you can see he's mind-controlled. I wonder what's gotten into the owner. He's never struck me as the kind of man who would see anything in someone like the Supreme Leader. Perhaps he's just feeling uneasy because Shanshan's missing. Can't say I blame him. Oops. So here's the dragon fried rice. And then the Shio ramen's in the Harbor District, which is where we need to go next. Did we? I don't think we went into Acacia, did we? Nope. Holy crap, this is a lot of people. It'll be okay, Serena. There's still hope left, I promise. Don't forget, we made it through the EDF and their whole siege. We just have to be strong and make the best of things, okay? You're right, thanks, Clarice. Hazel and Hugo aren't giving up either. They're trying their best too. I've got to pull myself together. You be careful out there too, Clarice, please. Look after Hazel and the others. Make sure they stay safe during doing all that underground stuff. Don't worry, they're in good hands with me. From what Noelle and the others tell me, they know their way around things just fine. I've got to step up my game and help how I can, whether it's with people's daily needs or gathering intel around the neighborhood. If you remember, Clarice is Noelle's mother. Same for Fran, obviously, since they're sisters. Do my best to warn folks to be careful so we don't have any more people lose their minds than we already have. If anyone you think needs to flee underground, let me know so I can figure out what to do, okay? Good luck on your end. Wherever they are, I'm sure Noelle and Fran are out there giving it everything they have. All the more reason for me to do my part from here, however I can. Hazel's so amazing. No matter how hard things get, he never gives up. He faces his troubles head on. I don't know if there's anything I can do, but I can at least cheer him on. Things are looking pretty dicey the way they're headed, aren't they? Yeah, more and more people are losing their minds where I'm working. It's just hard to stand by and watch it all happen. Looks like we'll have to move forward with that plan we devised with Wendy. What other choice do we have? Wait, not yet. First we need to figure out what holes there are in the EDS patrol routes. Who's there? Oh, just a bunch of kids. Are you guys lost or something? You don't look like you live in this apartment building. Golly, yes? We were just walking around talking about how scary all the grown-ups are acting lately. Then before we knew it, we somehow wandered past our building. Oops. Phew, that's all? You guys had us scared for a minute there. These kids seem legit, I wouldn't worry about them. Just be careful and head straight home, you hear me? Will do. Sure thing. Sorry for the commotion. Too easy. I could fool these chumps in my sleep. Yeah, they're gang members. What can I say? If Vald were here, what would he do? Even Wendy and that girl from Arkansas, Clarice, are working together now. Although I think it's fair to say that things are still a little delicate between the two of them. The situation is what it is. I'm sure Wazy and the Triple S are making moves, even if they're not in town right now. All we can do is try our best to make things better in the meantime. Could you give us a little space? We're talking about kind of complicated stuff over here. You guys be careful, okay? Don't stay out too late. Go home where it's safe. I will. I'll be a good girl, thank you. You've got to admit, the Supreme Leader does have a point. Wouldn't things be wonderful if Crossbell was the center of Zemuria? Listen to me, Krail. That would bring nothing but more conflict with other countries again. And if that happened, it's possible I'd be drafted again and have to be away from our family. Nobody wants that, right? We'd all be so lonely without each other. What? Yes, you're right. What was I even thinking? What a terrible thing that would be. Can't bear the thought of us being separated again from you, sweetheart. Promise me, Bond. Promise you'll always stay with us, with your family, okay? Of course, I wouldn't dream of spending my life any other way. On a lighter note, what do you say we start fixing dinner now? Do you mind helping me? Of course not, I'd love to. I'll chop those vegetables so finely you'll practically be able to breathe them in. And they're linked. Should have expected that. My mother's been acting weird, so weird lately. Sometimes she says she doesn't trust the Supreme Leader, other times she says he's the perfect man to guide us. It's very odd. Might just be a kid, but even I know when something bad is going on. Now that Father can be at home with us, though, I'm not so worried about her. He says that his business hours at work have changed so he can spend more time with all of us. I'm sure everything's going to be just fine with him around, right, Marie? I've been feeling bored since I can't play with Hugo lately. At least, unlike during the war, Father is here with me this time. That must mean things are going to be okay, right? Third floor, which never existed in the actual Crossbell games.